This is We All Be News and Radio.
Ron Hurd, get up out of bed. Let's go. Let's go. Ron Hurd. That's the word. Get out of bed. Give me a jingle. My number 051. Get out of bed. Let's go. Don't be afraid. This is Herb Smith calling you. Herb Smith. All right, I know you're famous and all that kind of stuff, but let's go. Get out of bed.
Hey, Ron, son, Mama Dee here. Happy Father's Day to you. You never know what little Ron Hurds or RTC2s are running around, and they just didn't tell you.
Welcome, Black family, to another wonderful edition of the Artivist Presents We All Be News and Radio. I'm your host for the empowerment segment, Brother Ron, also known as R2C2H2, the Artivist. And we got our special guest, the one and only Baba Dick Gregory. He's an introduction. He's a fan favorite on our show. How are you doing today, sir?
I am fantastic and getting better. And again, I want to thank you and all y'all out there that's doing this type of radio, because I get people calling me and want to know why the New York Times and Washington Post don't have this. I say, well, they part of the system. You know, a whole lot of things go down. Matter of fact, African Americans, we've been hundreds of years. We knew what was going on because we worked for the real white folks. We didn't work for the Ku Klux Klan. We worked for the powerful folks, and we were invisible. So they would talk around us like we wasn't even there. Most of your Pullman porters, a lot of them died millionaires. Did you know that?
Yes, sir. I heard some stories of that.
Yeah, because they was Pullman. There was the rich folk, couldn't no poor folks, couldn't no Klansmen, ignorant white folks afford to ride on their own private plane with the dining service and the beds and all that. So they said stuff in front of us. We knew when the stock market was going to be tricked. We knew when they was going to throw a football game or a baseball game. And it came back to the community and told everybody. So this is what's happening now, except now young white folks and white folk can get in on it. And all them right-wingers like, there was some of them right-wing talk shows that everybody listened to.
Oh, like Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity, Fox News.
Do you think they don't know what we know? Do you? You think we know this, and you think they don't know where that Malaysian plane is? And I cussed a white ringer out in San Francisco and said, well, why are you so bitter? I said, why do you think I'm bitter? I said, your mama bitter? I said, I can't understand you right when y'all love me. Because not that I tell the truth, but y'all know it. But you don't have the guts to say it and talk about how you love America. Huh? Nothing goes on that y'all don't know, because the white folks that's doing it and hate they have to do it come back and tell y'all. Huh? But y'all sit there and act like everybody else is a fool. Huh? I mean, am I one of the few people on the country that know General Patton when he died mysteriously in Germany? During the war, he said the Jews was lower than animals. Huh? Did you hear me? That's what he said. Here's a guy fighting to defeat the Germans, but felt that way about Jews. New York Times not going to print it. If I know it, they know it. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So you sit and you think about, I knew, Patton was murdered. Huh? And it's supposed to have been from an automobile accident. Do you know the autopsy is under wraps by a federal court? Can't be released. Huh?
I didn't know that. Wow.
And so anyway, what I'm saying is that just things that you can figure out, and then things that people hear you say in the shows like this here, and then they can run and Google it. Huh?
That's right.
So again, you know, you look, and here is the Washington football team, and this arrogant little pimp thug that owned it, that bought it in New York.
Mhm.
And I'm looking to go up on the Indian reservation and go to Minnesota because we're gonna have a big demonstration when Washington plays the Minnesota team.
Mhm.
But they football schedule is not ready. I mean, they new football stadium, so they playing at University of Minnesota. And so we're gonna do it there. And so in the process, we had some seminars a couple of days ago, and in the seminars they showed a picture, and I'm sure you know about it, of the American Nazi Party demonstrating at the Washington football stadium, saying keep, and that's what's wrong with the word N-word, keep Washington football team white, no niggers here, no N-word. Y'all crazy, huh? Huh? Then you understand what they're saying, especially you black folks that just love the Reds. Okay, you pay for that one day. One day your children will read who they was and wonder why these sweaters is in the house, why these helmets is in the house, huh? You know, black folks that don't know hundreds of thousands. You know, Harriet Tubman and them, that was a small amount of black folks that got the freedom.
Yes, sir.
Hundreds of thousands of black slaves ran away. But as long as we don't tell you that, the white racist system, you will wonder, why didn't they try to get away? They did. Huh? They did. And where'd they go? Indian reservation. And the Indians wouldn't let the white folk come up on their reservation to look for us. Huh? And then we sit around and celebrate Thanksgiving, who the Indians taught Americans Thanksgiving, and don't even mention their name in a prayer. What God are y'all praying to? Huh? That's the game that we play. That's the game that we play. If white folks don't validate it, then we stay away from it, except a handful. And so when I think about my birthday, man, when I was a little boy, I was born October the 12th.
Yes, sir.
Poor, raggedy, mother raised us. I don't have no problem with that. That's a game America plays. Oh, if Dick Gregory would have left his wife and them 10 children, they'd have been effective until the problem in the black community, ain't no black man at home. Well, Dracula had a mother and father at home. Hitler had a mother and father at home. You can't get no more family than the mafia, okay?
Right.
What happened to them? You mean all them priests been ripping off them boys for hundreds of years? They didn't have a dad at home? Come on, y'all. Huh? But if Dick Gregory would have had 10 children and got drafted and went to war and got killed, you haven't heard him say the one soldier family who got killed. Well, y'all get extra bonus because the problem with no father at home. See, it's okay as long as America picks you to go to war and kill people you can't even spell the name of the country you in. Huh? When they was bringing the Nazi soldiers here for the POW camps, which was all in the South.
Yes,
white folks in the South realize that the white folks that really run that don't give a damn about you. But watch this here. The German soldiers, them troop trains was coming through on the way. They had to stop to feed them. The German soldiers could get off the train and go into the white-only restaurant and eat. And the Negro MPs that was help guarding them with, the American soldiers. They threw their food outside. They'd wait out there and they'd pitch them their food. And then when they got to the Nazi camps where they put the Nazis in, they started calling them Negra. Where did they learn that from? The white guys. They started calling them Negra. And so it's that whole game that we look at and we want to forget because we have never done anything. Most of us don't even like ourselves. Dress white, talk white, and all that. Well, what's wrong with talking white? Well, when you do the real research and find out there's a word called the mother tongue. You ever heard that?
Yes, sir.
The mother tongue. That's a tongue that you and your mother, not your dad. You never heard the father tongue. That's how y'all communicate when you in your mother's womb, And that's the tongue that you communicate the rest of your life with. So when we get here and want to talk white, go to school so we can talk white, we violate the universal God. If you ever been to a Chinese restaurant?
Yes, sir.
Did you notice when the Chinese come to you, they take your order in English? And then when they get over there on the side waiting for the order and all of them talking, they talking in Chinese.
That's right.
Mother tongue, You ever go to a Italian place and they talk to you in English, but when they get together in the restaurant, they talking in Chinese? That's the mother tongue. You don't have one because you went to school and they taught us to talk like white folks. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them people out there, like my mother if she was alive, okay? And so my birthday is October the 12th. And growing up, man, I thought, wow, I thought it was something special for me. I'm sure that's why I made it, because I'd already drummed that in my head. I'm something special. This is for me. I get out of school. Everybody get out of school on my birthday. And then one day when I found out it was Columbus' birthday, who killed hundreds of thousands of Americans, no part of that. So I always celebrate my birthday on the 11th of October. The 11th of October.
Yes, sir.
So I wouldn't be caught up in that punk stuff. That viciousness, And I've always said to my Indian brothers and sisters, I have to apologize for me. I don't apologize for black folks. For what? I said, well, if my two sons and one of my daughters broke in your house, I'm talking to you now, not them. Broke in your house tonight and killed your wife and family, your children, and took over your house. They get arrested. They go to jail. I don't go to jail for murder. I had nothing to do with it, I had nothing to do with it. But then after I started living in that house, I'm just as guilty as they are. We live in America now. That was stolen from the Indians, and we don't feel no pain. You will when you start understanding universal order. You will. And so this is the game. And so consequently, I felt, not my birthday, no, I was a little boy, celebrating it. And I got up some side and realized, no. And so now people try to get me come to the birthday on October the 12th. I'll be fasting, man. I'll be fast. I fast. Look, I don't eat, I don't drink, I don't talk that day. I don't watch TV, I don't read nothing. Okay? And just ask the Indian brothers and sisters' spirit to forgive me for being here, paying tax to murderers that they used to keep y'all on the reservation. And I didn't know, but I didn't know the gun was loaded. That's no excuse. When you pull the trigger, you got them beside your head.
All right.
I did not know when I would go to see the Long Ranger in Tonto, and pull for long range. Something like I said, well, don't worry about that. I pulled for Tarzan against the Africans. Huh? I went there and pulled for Tarzan. I had somebody call me the other day and said, "Mr. Gregory, you know everything. How do we deal with Ebola?" I said, "Call Tarzan and Jane." Y'all never called me when they was flying through the trees talking to monkeys and gorillas and elephants, huh? And so anyway, I felt real bad of my behavior, but I didn't know. See, I didn't know tonto. In Spanish, tonto means the stupid one. In Spanish, Savi means the learned one. They never, ever stop, huh? And so Indians loved me, man, because I went on the reservation, me and my wife, and went to jail. They sentenced me to 9 months, 9 times. Sentenced my wife to 9 months, 9 times. Me and Marlon Brando went out there in Seattle, Washington. Really Tacoma, Washington. And got arrested. Because they signed a treaty with the Indians called the Seneca Treaty of 1840. And they said, look, if you give us all your timber rights, we'll let you have the fishing rights. They're going to let them have the fishing rights, right? And the Indians are so smart. And the white dude said, yeah, but we have to have the rights to fish with nets. Oh, sure, no problem. I want you to hear this, man, because it's kind of steelhead salmon, sports fishermen. They come from all over the world. And when Boeing aircraft was at their heyday, Boeing, in Washington,
that's right.
They made more money, the state, from Boeing. I'm sorry. They made more money from sports fishing than from Boeing. That's how big that was. Now, here's the problem. The white folks didn't know when they signed the treaty that the steelhead is born at Puget Sound, and it goes all the way to Tokyo, and then come back to spawn, to drop their babies. When they're coming back with a belly full of baby eggs, they have no appetite. So you out there with a hook, no meat, nothing. The Indians knew that, and that's why in the treaty they said we'll fish with nets. Now it got so big and so powerful, but way back then white folks didn't have this kind of money. Sports fishermen, they come every year and they see these Indians getting out the water with nets full of fish, and they get angry, and then it become a race, vicious thing. And they told the Indians they couldn't do that. And then they said, this is our treaty. We don't care. I'm not responsible for what my mother and grandmother and grandfather did. And that's when I get a call from Marlon Brando. And I'm going to tell you how much I love you, and what time you got some dates to come up on the reservation. I said, you name it, I'll be there. So we met out there. The next big demonstration, he was in the middle of a movie, so he wasn't able to come out there. So do you remember when he won the Academy Award and he sent that? Oh, you might know, you're so young. So you need to look it up. He won.
Yeah, I saw the footage of it. I know John Wayne was having a fit. John Wayne was angry.
No. He sent an Indian woman to go pick it up.
I know it pissed off a lot of people like John Wayne. It pissed them off. That's from what I heard. Yeah.
And I said, okay. Now watch this. So I said to the judge, I make millions of dollars, and we have 10 children, and we might have had 10 then. And I would like for you to send my wife to jail because she don't work, and I can keep taking care of the family and paying the bill. You should have thought about that when you came out meddling around with these Indians, getting them to do crazy things they wasn't doing before. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So then they finally wound it down to I would get 9 months, 9 times to run concurrently. I said, okay. You have anything to say? I said, yes, I will fast and pray. I will fast and pray. That's all. You mean you're going to fast? Oh, Judge, you don't understand. You don't understand fasting. Once I go into a fast, it won't be no 9 months. Y'all will throw me out this jail. Now, here's what I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
There was an Indian sitting in the court, and he looked mean, never spoke to me, never got eye contact with me. I thought he hated me because there are some right-wing Indians out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I walked past him, I just kind of turned my head the other way. And there's a book out, now I'll get you a copy, called Psychic Phenomena Around the World.
Okay.
With the Berkeley Press in Berkeley, California.
Mm-hmm.
And they was talking about all these strange psychic phenomena that happen around the world. And take this strange one of Dick Gregory on the Indian reservation. He was sentenced to 9 months, 9 times to run concurrently. And then a strange thing happened after that. Weird stuff started happening. The sheriff's wife had a stroke. The prosecutor's wife was killed in an automobile accident. That Puget Sound, which had never been shut in the history of the planet, was shut down because they had their first snowstorm in the history. Kit Carson's Peak was shut down because, and they just went on and named and named and named. They thought I was doing that.
Laying the black man.
You should have hurried up. You should have hurried up and seen them get me out of jail, right? And then so the white dude high in the court system said, how long have you had that power? I said, that wasn't me. It was somebody else. Do you remember when the lights went out in New York?
So the famous blackout that was back in the 70s?
Yeah, but the first blackout was in Seattle, Washington. You
Okay.
ready for this?
Okay.
Some big utility posts that the utility companies have.
Mm-hmm.
Their major box was located, remember I said the Seneca Treaty of 1874. Well, the address where that box was 1874 Seneca Avenue.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Shut the whole town down. And this is what this chump with the Washington team, he don't know. He just think he dealing with some little hatchet shit like that Indian family. Can you believe that thug Snyder could be that filthy, bring that Indian family there? They had on the Redskin hat and he didn't? Wait. And those of y'all that love them and watch the team, go back and look at the footage with RJ3. His leg got messed up. He didn't even get hit. There's some forces out here.
I also want to say, too, to add to the Washington Redskins, like you had me look up, I found a picture of the American Nazi Party.
Wait, slow up. You found what?
A photo of the American Nazi Party back in 1961.
Yep.
Saying that we want to keep the Redskins white. We
want to keep the world playing white. No niggers will ever play on this team. And you got these black folks running around with the Redskins. What fool.
And I posted it in the chat room. I'm posting it on all my social media outlets so people can see that picture for themselves. Yeah. I know a lot of black folks that love the Redskins. They love it.
Yeah, well, look at that. That will embarrass a lot of the owners. A whole lot of them feel that way, but they would never invite the Nazis to demonstrate. You saw the picture, huh?
Yeah, I saw the
lined up and marched around the stadium with the Nazi stuff on.
They had to get permission to do that, right? You think they had to get permission from the owner?
And they swastika us, huh? That.
Wow.
Well, y'all stay tuned in. So anyway, when I explained that wasn't me, they still didn't believe it. That wasn't me. And so the guy's white boy told me, he said, why you keep saying? My lawyer was a brilliant black guy, Jack Tanner, right? He said, so he said to Jack Tanner, why does he keep saying he didn't do that? Jack said, asked him, he said, why you say you didn't do that? I said, man, if I had these powers, the first thing I would do was go find that girl that didn't go to the prom with me. and so, see, that's what's good about this show. You can go dig that stuff up and put it out there because our minds, I'm talking about black and white, been so messed up. Did you see the news the other day? We found out we had Nazis here from World War II getting Social Security.
Oh, no, I didn't hear about it. There's so much stuff going on. I didn't know about that. Wow.
No, man. While we talking, if somebody in the studio, we haven't pulled that up. This was 2-3 days ago. And some Nazis still here. This is a country that cut black folks and white folks food stamps off, huh? Who sent children and husbands and fathers and grandfathers over there, and many of them got killed. And some of them that didn't get killed had their food stamps cut off, huh? America. But it's very important, because there's some people sitting out there that would never. My mother was one. If she's alive, she wouldn't believe that. No, come on. I told you a lot of stuff. I said, my mother was like, she called the police on me a long time ago. That's what happened when they get into your skull. Hey, I tell my grandchildren that, the Ku Klux Klan never told me that Santa Claus was a white boy. My mother told me that. My mother that went out and did extra jobs so she could get us our Christmas. And then told me a white, but can you imagine a Jewish person buying their children stuff on Yom Kippur and saying the Nazis bought it for them? And we don't know who we are? We don't feel anything at all? And so and so consequently, when you look at this, watch the Redskin thing play out, huh? Watch it play out. And see, if I would have, if I'd have had my way, if I'd have known a lot of them casino Indian, Native Americans, I would have went there and said, this Snyder white boy, he's going to bid $800 million tomorrow for the team. And I told y'all would take that casino money and bid $900 million and then buy and change the mascot to the nigger honkies. Huh? They're going to keep people upset about what he and me said now. Right. But go to Hollywood movies every week and see how many times they use it. What is it about you black folks and white folks? I can't use it, or damn you. But Hollywood can use it. Huh?
Well, I want to ask you, Brother Gregory, you heard about this story in South Carolina of the white football coach who had a picture of the black person eating watermelon in the locker room, and he got fired, but he got his job back. So, I mean, I guess there was interest. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of controversy around there. I just came from South Carolina just several hours ago, and people still were talking about that.
Let me tell you something, son. The basketball owner of the Atlanta Hawks.
Yes, sir.
Remember that?
I remember that.
He had to step down. Did you see that story? And one of his big-time associates had to step down because they sent out telex to all the other owners and the fans is the reason we make such little money. We make less money than any of the franchise, and the franchise just going crazy. You saw that mess out there. Right. Boy, I bought the team for $12 million and sold it for $2 billion. And he said the reason we're in an old African American neighborhood and we are having problems because so many Negroes come to the stadium and there's nothing we can do about it. And so that got out, and he had to give up the tier. Well, I don't believe that. I believe he probably sold it to somebody else, his friend or his wife's cousin. Now watch this now. So Charles Barkley, and that's why I don't know why you all. There's only 2 or 3 athletes in entertainment in the history of America that's worthy, worthy of your respect. Nice, but then they get out their leg. But Charles Barkley said, well, I got ahead of the game. It was, what's the, Lou Ascendo, that's his name?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kareem.
Kareem. He said 3 weeks ago when that story broke, they ran and got that fool nut. And he says, well, do you think that's right? No, that's just business. So I got on a show behind him and said, well, that's what Woolworth said. You don't want to let Negroes in Woolworth because we lose our white customers. Woolworth said that. And this fool punk don't know there's a whole lot of black folks and a handful of decent white folks that fixed it so he could do some of the things he's doing. Now, the black guy in Minnesota, Peterson, that had to go to court for whooping his child. And so that's what Barkley said, well, what y'all don't understand, that's a Southern tradition. Huh? Y'all don't understand that. So I get on Carl Nelson show and I say, this is what that punk said. I said, but wait a minute. Lynching was a Southern tradition. Fool. You can't do it no more. Huh? You can't do it no more. You can't call me a nigger and hit me and it won't be a hate crime. It's a hate crime. You call me the N-word and hit me, it's not a hate crime. And do you know when a group came together and decided we would switch that to the N-word, can you imagine women one day being such fools that men come to them and say, look, we're going to change rape to the R word, huh? To the R word. That man R-ed me. Give me a break, huh?
Right, yes, sir.
And so what? Africa wasn't a tradition where they whipped a child or spanked a child. How many of you black folks and white folks will knock your child down, especially black folk, or you mad at the white folk downtown, but you ain't gonna say nothing, so you gonna come over. And if you white folks believe they love you like they convince you they have, more flags were sold, American flags are sold 2 weeks before 4th of July and any other time of the year. Go into your favorite black neighborhood and see how many American flags you see. You punks, we can trick you. Let me tell you. Now, this is for you, son. And then call me and I'll get the research for you. But let me finish this first. And so, no African ever hit a child. And nobody that really understands the real God would know that. The white dude looked out, the slave owner looked out, saw a brother standing there with a mean look on his face. Well, they never gave you the humanness to even assume you had an abscessed tooth. That was hurting you. All they wanted to do was go out there and teach you a lesson so the other Negroes wouldn't have that look on the face. So they'd beat you to death with a 2x4. So the rest of the Negroes could see it. Well, thanks to the black woman, after years of watching that happen, she saw his jaw swole up bigger than his head. The white boy looked out there and just saw a non-human. And so the sister watched it, and they got together and said, what can we do? She said, well, next time it happens, I'll show you what to do. You mean to your child? No, anybody. He don't know whose child is what, right? So the brother got the 2x4, and she went over there and snatched it out of his hand. Said, Kachi P, this nigga just like his no good daddy. You know, he needs, give me that stick. I'll beat this nigga to death, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was hard for that white dude to believe mama would beat her child to death, so he watched. They taught other black women how to do that, and they'd be watching till they perfected it.
Wow.
And then that's what the black woman meant when she said, this whipping's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. It's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me.
Mm.
They perfecting it. They know how to pull the punches and pull the punch. That's where beating started, okay? All right?
Wow.
Now, black folks still doing it. They're still doing it. Now, they got some fantastic research. Maybe this is your job to do. Pull up the research.
Mm-hmm.
Where 98% of your violent murders, criminals, we're not talking about black and white, 98% of them got beatings when they were little. This is research. Research. Got beatings when they were little. There's no way mom can hit me. Tough love, huh? You can do that, but a dude walking down the street, a pimp, a hustler, can hit me and break my jaw, and he can call it tough love. But you can. Oh, my, what a fool you are.
Yeah, I want to say this, too, as well, because I saw a documentary about another great football player named Terrell Davis, who was the running back for the Denver Broncos when they won the Super Bowls back in the 90s. He said that his father one time came into his brother's room, and he shot a gun above their heads into the wall. He shot bullets above their head. But he said he wasn't afraid. He loved his father. But he knew he would never hurt him. You know, he was just trying to teach him something, a lesson. Yeah. I said, wow, that's strange.
No, but that's the athlete. See, you don't find many people, athletes, like Muhammad Ali. You don't find many athletes like Jim Brown.
Right.
There's a group of athletes and entertainers out there. I mean, you know how much money Bill Cosby gives to different groups? Not just civil rights groups. I mean, just black hospitals and stuff, huh? It's not that many. Why? Because they're all controlled by white agents. They're all controlled by white managers. That's why they don't want them to hang around. How many times have they been on your show?
That's true. That's true.
You hear me? Because they don't want to get something in their head that don't sound like them talking to them. And so consequently, they play the game, and they keep you. When you look at the football game, those of y'all will be looking on later tonight, you see slavery. The brothers on the field picking cotton, and the white boy sitting on the bench with a clipboard trying to look intelligent.
Oh, my God. That's fascinating.
That's the game, right? And so consequently, let me say something to you, man. I don't know if I said this before, but if you had 10 children, right? And from the time they was 1 to the time they was 18, at what time, from 1 year old, would you let the government start training them for war?
At no time. I would not allow it.
You do it, but you don't know it. That's what sports is about. Sports is to prepare them for war, because they know you got to be real stupid to let them, although there's some fathers, black and white, that would be stupid enough to do it. The Germans, I don't remember what color the Germans, so you don't have to do it. I'm going to ask you something, just yell out a color. What color was the Germans' uniform?
Black.
Okay, what color was the Russians' uniform?
Red. Okay,
so when you go to the football game and the basketball game, don't they have two teams with different uniforms on? so you can recognize the enemy. So if you playing for the one team, the other team is the enemy. If you playing for that team, you the enemy. It's a war game created by the Greeks. The Olympics. And that's why the Olympics had no women in it, because war back then was only men, huh? So you, Mom, and then have you ever asked yourself why the rich folks, the Prince Charles ever played football? You know better than that. He out there on a horse,
Wow.
polo stick, huh? This is what the game is. So now I got y'all ready for war.
Well, actually, too, because you brought up somebody that I thought was interesting, because you talk about Bill Cosby, and now there's a lot of criticism of him as a young comedian criticized Bill Cosby as far as how he treated women, supposedly, allegedly. And you made a point of him giving a lot of money over the years.
Yeah, but you can't get around that. That don't forgive you. I'm just saying the New York Times and the Washington Post and Time Magazine never told you.
Right.
You want to read it? Get Jet Magazine. Get everything.
That's interesting.
Huh?
Right.
Okay. That's all I was saying. I just wouldn't put all the athletes and entertainers, because some of them are doing something you might not know about. If I wouldn't Dick Gregory, a lot of stuff I wouldn't know about, And so and so consequently, when a lot of them folks got uptight, a lot of them schools got uptight, it was Bill Cosby. I mean, Bill gave millions to the what's the woman's school in Atlanta, the black?
Spelman College.
Yeah. I used to hang around with, I didn't know, it would be lecture circuit, and we're getting awards, and me and Ray Charles. We were in Ohio, and Ray Charles had gave that school, black school there, $1 million. So then 2 weeks later, I'm at Morehouse. They gave him $4 million.
Right.
So me and he was walking off the street. I said, Ray, I know you can't see, but somebody, have you ever seen them on zeros they putting on your check? But there's a whole lot of people out there that's doing things that we don't know about, and the white press is not going to tell you about it, huh? And so consequently, have you ever heard? I'm asking you now.
Right.
You ever heard that the government released a whole lot of stuff that Thurgood Marshall was an agent?
Yes, sir. I have heard it. I know.
No. Just answer me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Saying, I would expect you to hear it, but most folks haven't heard it. But the white folks know he did, so they released it, huh?
Right.
Okay.
Of course.
You ever heard the nasty stuff he said about King and about Howard University?
Not about King or Howard, but about the base.
Well, you can punch it up. You know how to get it. It's there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So look at this. See, I start questioning it. What's the brother who he's not real conservative, but he's enough for white folks to like him? Juan
Williams. Yeah, Juan Williams. Yeah.
It's in his book. He released it in his book. I had somebody come up and say, well, he did that because he was trying to prove to Hoover and them that it wasn't no communists taking over the civil rights movement. I said, but how many black folks and white folks got killed because of them reports he was sending in, huh?
That's a good point.
And I said, so when you look at it, Freeway Rick.
Yeah, Rick Ross. Yes, Freeway Rick Ross.
Yeah, but wait a minute. You know how many black shows he's on and they look at him as a hero? When he was selling them drugs in the black community, he didn't know the CIA was supporting that for the war in Nicaragua. He didn't know that.
Right.
So now all at once now, they got black radio shows calling like he a hero. He ain't nothing but a thug, punk, freak. Huh? But yet still now, you know, I've heard some radio shows now where the black guy that wrote the Willie Lynch letter for the CIA. Because I caught it the first day. I said, wow, white folks didn't talk that way 300 years ago.
Black folks still quoting that letter, boy.
I know, that's not, well, I expect that my mama would too.
Right.
You know, so I said, wait a minute. That's 1960 lingo, dead out. Well, thank God there was a brother, PhD, at, he was at, wow. Let me get it. He was at the, Berkeley. Berkeley, California, PhD. So he ran it down, and he interviewed the brother. The brother, CIA, admitted he did it. And do you know how many black folks on these radio shows will say, well, he might have did it for the CIA, but it's that was not his intention. That was a trick. And so when you stop and think about it, I was at where was I, in Houston the other day, and they got a piece there. The Shrine of the Black Madonna. Them three brothers bring in speakers, man. They don't try to say, hey, you know, we're not doing that good. Can you give me a break? Bring in the top dollar. Place is packed. Well, somebody asked a question, Mr. Gregory, the young stuff, the young music, the stuff that the youngsters is listening to, and when they need to hear us old time. No, that was on the Indian reservation the other day, press conference, and all the top black folk came out to be part of this thing on November the 2nd. And he said, I said, ho. They talk to me about that. So let me leave the room, and you do it. When you get through, I'll come back in. Here's somebody asked me on a show like yours, Mr. Gregory, what do you think about these young blacks walking around with their pants below their butt? I said, well, first, I can't talk about it, but the folks that killed Jesus didn't have their pants below their butts. The mob never walked out on the corner with their pants down low. You never seen a dope pusher in the black community pushing dope with their pants hanging down. And I'm sure the priests and ripping off them little boys with 300 kids, they didn't have their pants hanging down low. But the reason I can't discuss it, because in my early life, I used to drink a sip of scotch every day. And I can't tell you how many times I got in the car and drove under the influence of alcohol. That's a felony.
Wow.
What they doing is not a felony. So you going to ask me to pass comment on them? And a whole lot of folks would, huh?
But wasn't that Dr. King getting arrested in his suits, and y'all had Sunday's Finest on, three-piece suits, and Cornel West got arrested in Ferguson recently in a suit with his PhD. So what makes you, like you said, you could be driving down the street as a black man with 5 PhDs and $10 million at the bank and still be sweating bullets when the police is behind you.
No, yeah. And it ain't even after you. You just hear the siren.
Right.
You hear the siren. Yeah.
So you ain't free. No matter what, your degrees or your
worse than that, you squeezed the steering wheel and you didn't know you was squeezing this.
Right.
Man, I had a young white punk cop in St. Louis. Somebody had shoplifted in the health food store. And me and the brother that owned that, we were so much, people thought we owned it together. There's nothing I would ever want. I'd get big checks cash there, and I didn't even live there.
Right.
So I'm walking down the street, and white cop said, hey, boy. I kept walking. Boy, I'm talking to you. You talking to me or your mama? You see, sometimes death is better. And one day, if you Christians ever meet Jesus, ask him. Because all they asked him to do was say no. And he's not the king of Jews. And he said, well, death is better. And so I turned around and walked. He ran up with his gun out, grabbed my arm. I said, stop. I said, tell your mama to stop, huh? He put the other handcuffs. Then he walked me across the street. He ain't told me nothing about why he's talking to me or my rights or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him. I said, white boy, I sure hope you ain't got no big bills you got to pay. There are some black folks you can mess with, and there's some you can't. I'm in the group that you can, okay? He didn't know who I was. By the time he walked me across the street to where his car was parked, the crowd had gathered. Oh, you ignorant white boy, you messed up now. Nah, the big boys is coming. Black lieutenant gets out the car and whispered in that white boy's ear. I'm in the back of the car with the handcuffs on. The brother said, man, we sorry about this. He don't know. Just an ignorant redneck white boy. That's what the car. So he took me out the car. So I said, no. He said, no. He put me in the car. He take me to jail, or I'll file suit tomorrow about being kidnapped, huh? Okay? All right? So now, that's how quick he turned on me, the black cop. He whispered something to the white boy. The white boy went in the health food store. My friend, white dude, my friend. He couldn't find nobody, so he went back in the back and got the Mexican dishwasher. Came to the police car. Now I'm sitting up front. I said, yeah, that's him. Yes, sir. Is that the one that you saw? Yes, sir. So he got rid of his snake. I said, no, hey, son, come here. I know you don't have much education, much money, but I know you need this job. Me and the owner are tight buds on friends. I can come in there and open up the cash register and take something out and call him when I get home, right? So now, if you want that job, you don't lie for me. You better tell this ignorant white boy. He said, well, no, sir, I didn't. I didn't see him. Y'all told me to say that. Him and the black guy. So now I go to jail. I walk in there, and the black sister said to the white boy, oh, you messed up now, and I wonder what your black girlfriend going to think.
Oh, wow.
Now, think about this. Went out all over the world. Big Gregory, because it's in the police version now. Big Gregory arrested for shoplifting. Okay? I come out, I hold a press conference. The black police chief, who wouldn't have been black police chief of St. Louis, had it not been for the work that Dick Gregory and all them people did. Some of them died, I didn't. And I stayed there. I told them, they canceled everything. And I stayed there and organized marches. And so, celebrity on all the big white stations. And we had, for 50 years, they had a place called The Stroll. That's where black prostitutes would walk about 30 blocks in a circle, and the white boys would come in from 100-mile radius and pick them out. They'd either jump in the car and do what they was going to do, or go out in the woods. And so the guy said to me on the radio, so, Mr. Gregory, you said the other day that prostitution is the benefit for white men, and they ought to go down to First National Bank and sit on them benches. Not come in my neighborhood. So he said, are you telling me that black men don't have problems? Oh, sure we have. Sure. That's my sister. That's my daughter. My mama. We get her free after she get all your money. We get her dripping wet.
Wow.
And I said, I went to college at Southern Illinois University. Prostitute house run by a black woman, Ma Hatchett. Black folks wasn't welcome. Just white boys. I said, that's what happened to Richard Pryor. That's what messed up his head. His mama, you know the story, did you?
Yes,
his
sir.
mama ran the whole house.
Well, his
grandmother ran the whole house, and his mama was a hoe.
That's right. Yep.
And I said, well, let me explain something to you. The word honky
Mm.
He was 90 miles from Chicago, so you had powerful white men coming in from all over the world for conventions and stuff. So they would go 90 miles to the whole house, so none of their friends would ever see him or the press wouldn't see him. They would pull up in their limousine or pull up in their car.
Mm.
And they would honk the horn. Honk, honk. And she'd send Lothar out, the big tall, like the heavy set, come out and said, okay, so yeah, we ready. And he'd escort them all in. Then he'd come back and park the car. And nobody would mess with the car. Why?
Mm.
Because all of us respected this house because we were seeing real white folks. But that's where the word honk honky comes from. Huh?
Mm.
And so consequently, I'm telling you this story about St. Louis because there's few things that ever bothered me. The black police chief, he had a PhD, Harmon, I think was his name. And he did a press conference. He said, Dick Gregory's respected, but I think he's not telling the truth, and I stand by my cops. Wow. So I held a press conference, and I said, y'all know Harmon, police chief, is married to a white woman. And I said, let me tell you why I'm saying this. There's a black police chief in Chicago. I said, I wonder what would happen if he and his wife went to Chicago just to have a weekend of rest and relaxation. And one of them redneck, Negro-hating white boys see this black man, he ain't in no police uniform, with this white woman and pull him over. Handcuff him and lie on him and take him to jail. I wonder how he would feel if that black police chief up there said what he said about me. I stand by my men. And so you look at it, and then you see it, and then somewhere, and so the Washington Monument. You've been to D.C., right? You've seen it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you realize, man, there was a time that I wanted to come to Washington to see the Washington Monument. A monument dedicated to a redneck, unethical dog. Wherever heaven is, he will not be there. Now, I'm not judging. There's no slave owners. Take another human being, dog them, beat them, kill them. There's no spot for them where that place is, if it's there. And if I went to heaven and saw him and Thomas Jefferson and all them thugs, I'd leave. I'd say the other place must be better. Yeah, where's the devil? Let me see. Devil, can I talk to you? Yeah, what you want to talk to me about? Well, I wonder, have you ever raped anybody? Have you ever molested little boys? Have you ever drank whiskey? I've never seen you in a dirty outfit. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to find out who you are, because in an all-Christian society, one of the top-selling Halloween outfits is a devil outfit.
Right.
And they ain't just been sold on death row. I can't name a public school, from the high school, green Jesus or the black Jesus or the purple Jesus. But y'all can name schools after this devil. The Duke University Blue Devils, huh? And so I'm saying, I just want to ask a simple question. And so when you stop and think about, when I was a little boy, I never heard nothing but good things about Thomas Jefferson and all them founding fathers. And by the time I realized they were slave owners, my head had already been messed up about how good they were. Good they were. Then they talk about Thomas Jefferson and the black woman, like even black people try to make her not a slave, like it was her privilege to be sleeping with the slave master. All the people she killed.
Right. But even with Strong Thurman, it had like it was a consensual relationship with him and his black help.
It was what?
A consensual relationship, like there was an equal partnership that produced that child. I think it wasn't equal at all. I think that she was, under pressure for white supremacy to have an affair with him. I mean, that's how I feel.
No,
I wasn't there.
No, she wasn't under no pressure.
Even
redneck slave owners, man, they didn't know nothing about no white supremacy. And see, my mother worked for Jewish people. Sometimes I go to work with her, and I used to say, boy, if Jews ever hear how many times in a day they say them effing Jews. So I know if you feel that way about them as white as they are, I know how you feel about me. And so when you stop and think about it, as you grow up and mature and get another side of your head, then you realize you white folks out there that wouldn't dare live next door to a black person, there's something wrong with you. What is it about you that your house and your neighborhood lose value if I'm there? You the one that produced Frank and Jesse James. You the one that produced the big bank robbers. Right. You the one that produced the mob, huh? And let me tell you something about the mob, as we see it now. Once you start killing other people, you start killing each other. That's how filthy. You kill me, you kill this, you kill that. And now some of the biggest crimes in the history of America was mob hits on Italians. That's the game. And y'all don't even understand the game, but you will in a short few minutes. And the reason y'all get by with what you get by with, we the decent folks on the planet, we represent light like the sun. All you thug, priests, punks, all the stuff that popes let y'all get by with, y'all represent darkness. And the only reason you have that chump power is because we with the light is scared of your darkness. And I tell my grandchildren, get up early in the morning and go out and watch the sun come out. It's not nighttime. Clean out the sky. And when the sun gets afraid of night, then we'll have 24 hours of darkness around the clock. And your crops won't grow. And so when you stop and think about, I grew up, I could not see George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, them thugs as slave owners, murderers, a violation of every document, religious document you can think of. I haven't read one religious document, even when they do filthy things, that honors owning another human being.
Even Thomas Jefferson, he made his own Bible. He created his own Bible.
Oh, yeah.
He had the audacity to do that.
Yeah. And so when you stop and think about all the black folks listening to us now have carried their children, I'm not all of them.
Right.
But many have carried their children to Disneyland to see a rat, but haven't been to King's grave or King's monument.
Right.
If he not died, you would not be welcome in Florida. What pimp punks you are.
Well, Greg, I want to say this. I want to get back to your hometown with St. Louis, because I know we talked about Thunder Red Myers before. That's the brother who was shot several times by the off-duty cops.
You mean in St. Louis?
Yes, sir. South St. Louis. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'll read it.
They did admit it was two people. Were you aware of that?
I didn't know that. But I want to read.
His mother said you could look at that woman and know she was. Said he was eating a sandwich, huh? Okay. And then the next day, somebody said in the store, no, he shot the wrong one.
He shot the wrong one. Wow.
Yeah, it said it was. If anybody had a gun, it was the other guy. Well, I didn't see him, but I know this brother. This is a store. Person was buying something. So he was eating a sandwich. I know he didn't do it. And then
I want to read.
Huh?
Yeah, I'll read the Associated Press because his funeral was today. They held his funeral today at 3 p.m., I believe.
Well,
and I want to read.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd they hold it up so long?
They did a second autopsy.
Oh, and they needed a second autopsy.
And the result is this. This is the AP. This is what the AP reported. It's the autopsy. St. Louis officer shot Myers from behind.
Yep, that makes
sense. An 18-year-old killed earlier this month by an off-duty St. Louis police officer was shot 8 times, including 6 times from behind, said a forensic pathologist who performed an independent autopsy Thursday. Dr. Cyril, I guess, Wick.
Cyril Wick.
Yeah, who has him. Yeah, he investigated.
Cyril Wick is from Pittsburgh. He's the first important person that questioned the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah, they made mention of that. He said JFK, Elvis Presley, and John Benet Ramsey conducted the autopsy at the request of Vonnegut Myers Jr. family and outlined the findings during a news conference.
Mm-hmm.
So he said he was shot from behind. The fatal shot came from behind.
Mm-hmm. What days? Was that today's paper?
No, that came out earlier this week. It's online.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some other things. I'm saying even the AP is going for different narratives from the police. And my thing is this: why you an off-duty cop acting like an on-duty cop?
Well, they've been doing that for years.
Okay.
They've been doing that for years.
Mm-hmm.
For years. One of the things you have to find out is did he? Now, did you see the woman cop that stopped the old man? You saw him sitting on the curb with that sad look on his face. And that white woman came. It was in Washington, D.C. The white woman came.
I thought it had came to his rescue. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on TV.
The black cop said, "Don't you move." That white woman said, "Move." Who you talking to? And went across the street to the police car. If that would have been a black woman, she'd have been shot.
That's true. They body slammed a college professor this year.
Huh?
They said they body slammed a black college professor for jaywalking supposedly on a college campus.
Yeah. Yep. So when you stop and think about it, but we tolerate it. Do you know how many thousands of black cops there are in America? Have you ever picked up the paper, turned on the news, and see a white family crying? Boo-hoo. Because this black cop shot my brother in the back of the head 40 times. You think they don't do that because they're better trained? You think they don't do that because they're more spiritual? No, they know white folks ain't going to tolerate it.
Exactly.
It's that simple. And so when you stop and think about that, but let's work it down. Trayvon Martin, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the story. Now, the story is that he was looking at the All-Star basketball game.
Right.
That Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
During halftime, he decided to go to 7-Eleven. Right? Well, all of us, we make phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at something really good, like the Academy Award or the Super Bowl, you better not call me.
Right.
Then halftime, I'll call you back.
Right.
So there's nothing abnormal about him going to 7-Eleven during halftime. Now tell me how come I know what I'm fixing to say in the New York Times don't know it. How come I know that he was killed at 7:17 p.m. The All-Star game didn't start till 8 o'clock, which means halftime couldn't have been before 9. I know that. New York Times don't know it. Come on, y'all.
Right.
What is this about? How come they never showed us the can of Arizona iced tea and the Skittles? How come? This is the only homicide in my life since I've been conscious. They told us more about what somebody, a homicide victim, bought at the store than about the homicide. How come they haven't showed us pictures of him going in and coming out of 7-Eleven? Now, after Black Radio picked it up, they did show us a picture of somebody standing in a hoodie.
Right.
But all you saw was the back. Now, here's the bomb. Here's the bomb. Watch this now. if you live in a gated community, okay, gated, you pay extra perks money because you get extra perks. And the main one you get is there's a video camera on the front door and the back door. So anybody comes through the back or comes through the front, they video. In a case that's this important, how come they never released a picture of a video of him coming in that apartment that night or him leaving out? How come we never see a picture of Zimmerman coming in or leaving out? Huh? You see, the great part about doing the vicious things America do, everybody gets tainted, huh? White folks get tainted because they so busy. Oh, well, he wouldn't have shot it for nothing, and they miss all the important things about it. Well, I would never use God as a pit bull, but there's a greater order out there, and it's about to drop that bomb. Not the physical bomb, but the bomb to show you stuff in your head. Huh? What's going on? Have you, well, anyway, so somewhere when you stop and think about, you know everything, so I'm sure. Did you know Zimmerman lived in a predominantly all-black neighborhood?
I heard about the black neighbors coming from. I didn't know it was predominantly black. No, sir.
Yeah. When you interview the neighbors, they say, we're shocked. We just can't believe he would do this. But what goes around comes around. God ain't got nothing to do with that. That's universal law.
It's like he would have been a cop. Like he fit the psychological profile of a cop, of a real good cop. I mean good, not as good, but as bad.
Well,
like he fits that profile. He should have been a cop.
Maybe it was mind control.
Okay.
You hear me?
It's like the White House intruder. You think that was mind control?
Sure, no, it was. But I'm going to ask you this. How could he be that stupid to mess up a $10 million hustle? Because after he beat that case, he had a good, juicy contract for a book.
He sure did. It was kind of like some OJ stuff. And
then all at once, he kept doing one stupid thing after another. And, okay, that's mind control. And so when you stop and think about now, here's what the white newsman was saying. Don't see it here. Well, some new information had just come out. And it looks like the cop might get off. And then they went on to say about him pushing the cop. Well, let's go back. See, they don't know what I'm fixing to tell you now. If you
just about to Mike Brown. This is Mike Brown and Darren Wilson.
Mike Brown, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All right. The police chief, 3 days after the killing, released a video of him in the convenience store, pushing this little short man. And then he walked out the door, and this is what the cop said, this is what we was reacting to. Now watch this. And so when he walked out the store, that picture they showed us was dated June the 6th.
Okay.
The bottom of the picture. Have you seen that?
I saw the video. I just had paid attention to the details.
No, just look at the video because it's been talked about. And then when he walked out that store, he had on flip-flops and short pants. When he's laying on the ground dead, he had on Nike tennis and long pants. So now the owner of the store holds a press conference, with his lawyer and said he's never been in that store. No call ever went out to the police department. All you got to do is check it. No call went out to the police department. And so there's a lot of questions you have to ask. If you got some murdering cop that's going to assassinate somebody, how come they didn't assassinate his partner with him? Why would you leave a witness? Why would you leave a witness? And so the cop said, well, he pushed me into the car. I said, get the F out the street. And he didn't know nothing about what happened at the store because it didn't happen. Okay? So he said he rushed me Okay, all right. Took my gun, and the gun went off. Well, what about the police car? Is it a bullet in the police car? Is there a hole in the police car? Did you give him a paraffin test and see if he had any gun residue on this? Huh? And so he laid there 4.5 hours. And then the black folks saw a black SUV come and pick him up that didn't look like an official car.
Right.
So black folk got a reason to wonder, well, where'd they take him? Who was it took him? And did they bring him back?
But also, you know what, Brother Gregory, also just the disregard for this human life, not just Mike Brown's life, because I've been on that street several times. That's a really small and narrow street. It's not that big as people might think.
Yes.
It's very tight. And to do it at noon on a Saturday when people be out and about,
yeah.
I mean, like, what is that?
Well, were you back there for the funeral?
Yes, sir. I was there for the funeral.
Well, you know they didn't open up the coffin, right?
Yes, sir. They did not.
We don't know who that was.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like the black SUV. I mean, it's so many stuff, but people are so afraid to ask these questions because we don't want to know the answers a lot of times. We know there might be an answer that we don't want to know.
Now, I know you know this, but if you don't, you have to I'll tell you somebody you can call.
Mm-hmm.
Where everybody lined up for the march was in front of was it Quick something?
The Quick Trip, yeah.
Quick Trip. That was a convenience store in the filling station, right?
Right, that's right.
Did you know 2 months before that happened, that Quick Trip store had built a brand new Quick Trip a mile away?
I saw at first I thought that was the Quick Trip. I saw when I was driving through Ferguson one night. I thought that was the Quick Trip at first. I didn't know they did it. That's interesting though. So
did somebody know something? You're gonna have 2 filling stations in a little town.
Right.
And so Lambert Airfield, that's the St. Louis airport.
Mm-hmm.
The latest planes that's been made in the last 10 years, they can't land there because the runway is not long enough.
Okay.
So if you got to expand the runway, that means you got to buy what?
Land.
Do you know Ferguson's 2 blocks away, 2 miles away?
So that's interesting.
But it can't be. There got to be more to it than that, because it's his little sidekick that was with him. Are you aware that the federal government had him on the federal protection?
Yeah, I heard that. Yes, I heard that.
So what's he under? What do he know that the rest of us don't know?
I want to ask you this because I'm very curious to get your point of view about what happened to Eric Holder. Was he resigned?
Wait. Before we get into that, are you aware that 2 years ago, before this happened, the Missouri National Guard did a joint program with the Maryland National Guard. The Maryland National Guard came in with all of their heavy equipment, and the exercise was how do you control martial law? Okay? And then when the Maryland people walked out, they left all the heavy equipment that they brought back. Mm-hmm. So it's always bigger than, what we think it is.
Right.
But what? You look at that incident yesterday, the day before, in Seattle, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Little Indian dude went to school, shot 4 or 5 people. Then they tell us today 2 of them was his cousin. Mm-hmm. And they come from a well-to-do Jewish family, one of the largest schools in America, and a lot of the well-off Indians, their children go there. A lot of Indian children go there. So I did hear somebody say that he had been complaining about some of the whites was using racial slurs with him. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but when I heard it, as a parent, I said, I know there'll be a lot of white parents tomorrow. I said, when y'all go back to school, you know, don't say nothing about the end. Matter of fact, anybody with high cheekbones, don't say nothing negative.
That's right.
And so, but if you look at it, that's mind control. Everybody that they talked about what an honorable student he was, or he just been on last the prince. You know, like you have homecoming king and queen. Well, he's a freshman, so they have a prince and princess for the freshman for homecoming. Everybody talk about how nice he was, how even he was. They never saw him. That's mind control. That's the game. All of them fit the same pattern. Every one of them a good student, huh?
Right.
Every one of them have never been in any trouble before. All of them come from good homes, huh? And so that's the game.
Also, I wanted is were they avid video game players too? I would like to know. Well, all these people are avid video games.
Well, they might be, but when you know how millions of people play video games, don't shoot nobody.
That's true.
Huh?
That's true. That's true.
You know where that really game seemed is when he went home. When the one in Connecticut. When they said he went home and killed his mother and smashed her computers.
Right.
What they didn't tell you is she made all them upscale video games for the military, for the CIA.
They sure don't talk about that. They sure don't talk. They don't talk about that. But you can find it though. You can find it online.
Yeah, and that's why he smashed. He didn't do nothing. Look. Let me go back to Connecticut. The cops walked into school. You heard the tape because CBS ran it once and then disconnected, where the cop said, "I got one down here with camouflage."
Right, more than one shooter. Yeah.
And I'm handcuffing him, and I see the other one. We'll bring him in. You never heard no more about it.
No.
But now listen to this. The teachers was killed, right? So when the cops got in there, and they said he committed suicide, right? How did they know who he was? Why didn't they think he was another teacher? Huh? He's right there where the teachers is killed. Why wouldn't they assume he was another teacher since they never met him or knew who he was? Huh? See, every now and then, punks, they always forget something. Always forget.
Bad acting, what I call it. Bad acting.
Huh? Yeah.
Bad actors, yeah. They remember their lines.
And so, you asked about
Eric Holder.
Eric Holder. Yeah.
It looks like he got resigned. Soon he went to Ferguson, he was like sending his resignation after that. And people said, well,
no,
he got fired because
Ferguson didn't have anything to do with it.
Okay.
See, they jumped him with the thing in Arizona. Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah.
Now, that was put together under Bush.
Right.
Okay? So they came in, and I'm sure it was still running, but the president probably don't know nothing about what's going on. It's two countries. The little punk one we know about, and the real one, and you better not mess with that one. And so they was, cross-examining the attorney general out there, federal judge. They just said he's not answering no questions. Well, he can't answer no questions. First, it didn't happen under his watch. And second, it was bigger than we think it was. And that's when the big boys, who really run the country, came in and said, this is out of y'all's pay scale, leave it alone. Okay? Now, this was in federal court, okay? For the investigation. Trying to think of the group that put the lawsuit in out of Washington, D.C. I'll think about it in a minute. Anyway. So all at once now, it died down, and they kept getting messages, we want this material, we want this material, we want this material. And when the lady got shot in the head.
Yeah, the Congresswoman, Gabrielle Giffords.
Yeah, and the federal judge that got shot, And they said it was an accident. He just happened to be coming out of Safeway. That was the federal judge that was running the hearing in his court.
Well, man, was Giffords involved in looking into that too as a congressperson? Was she doing some investigation into the Fast and Furious stuff as well?
Well, they would have stopped when she found out how big it was.
Okay.
They'd come back and shoot her again.
But I've heard all the people up here that I hang out with said that was she was shot accidentally. And so Eric and them didn't do it. That was the folks that didn't want to look into that mess and see how big it was.
So would it be right to say that this was Obama's Bay of Pigs moment, or wasn't? It may not be correct.
No, he has so many bad pigs moments. I mean, he don't know most of the stuff that's going on. He's not aware of it. Huh?
That's right.
If you become president tonight, right? How long are you gonna be in office? I mean, how many terms?
The most 2 terms.
Okay, so that'd be 8 years, right?
Right, 8 years.
Do you know the folks that run them departments, man? They've been there 40 years.
Right.
And little punks you pick to run there, they got 2 sets of books, man. And so consequently, there's a federal judge in Washington, D.C. that 2 days before he stepped down, he gave them till October the 22nd to bring all the stuff in. And so, am I saying they had? No. Please. They ain't smart enough to pull that off, huh? And so all the ones they can kill Eric and his wife and said, oh, he's so upset being fired, right? That he have, and then they'll have people out there who's agents who say, yeah, I went to dinner with him the other night, he and his family, and he been acting real strange, huh? That's how it works. Huh?
Right.
That's how it works. And so somewhere when we stop and think about, well, did I live to see the day that white folks in America would be scared of something coming out of Africa that they can't even see? And when you look at the brother that died in Dallas, oh, did they mess up on that one now? He came there, and they didn't have the script right. They sent him back home. We're not ready for you yet.
They use 103-degree temperature, though. You can see by his temperature was like 103 degrees.
Yeah, but I said they forgot to brief everybody right. And he came in. You saw how heavy and big he was, right? Right. Well, 2 questions nobody asked. Why was he in Africa? I'm going to ask you, why was he in Africa, that part of Africa?
Probably on business, right? I mean...
What kind of business?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, why do you think you have the right to say that? Huh? They have never told us who he worked for. Everybody else, they had a reason to be... Look. If down the street from your house there's a major homicide, you don't have a right to go down there and get involved.
That's right. That's
okay? So everybody else that they said had it, they was over there with an AIDS group or something.
Right.
So what was he doing there? What gave him the right to be exposed? They have not told us where he worked. Where did he get his tickets from? Where did he get his tickets, huh?
That's a good question.
Now he dies, huh? We don't know that. We didn't heard him say one word. Everybody else had press conferences, huh? Did you see them white folks that came in here 2 weeks before he did? They got off the plane, man, and walked to the ambulance. Right. He walked home and he come back, he in bed. Now that stuff eats up your metabolism, eats it up and flushes it out, called diarrhea. And when you die, that told you you about the size of your index finger. How come we didn't see him getting skinny? How come?
Yes, sir.
And now I know you know this, so I'm asking you this for my grandmother. Have you seen the footage of, I think, 15 years ago? Ebola was developed in Germany. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you seen it? Some kind of way they made a mistake and something got away, and about 7 or 8 of them Germans died. You see that?
Mhm. I remember Ebola. Yeah, about 20. I remember that. I said, "Damn, it came back again." It was like pneumonia and flesh eating disease back then.
Yeah. Now, are you aware that a brother in San Diego had filed for a patent for the Ebola? Oh, come on, man! Everybody know that. All you got to do while you talking now, you got a computer. All you got to do is punch in the computer. They'll give you the patent number. Huh? Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
They will give you the brother's name and the patent number. And we used to get on the radio and ask people to call the patent number, and they would tell you, where's the patent? No, I got the number here. This. And so, and I think this is so important. You should punch that up and let your listeners, because you got listeners all over the world, man, that love you, man. I've become a hero on the other brothers, man. Tell me, say, man, every night, man, I'm turning on, trying to see what did Gregory say. Huh?
Right, that's true.
And my birthday, man, you know, like I said, I don't celebrate on the 12th because of Columbus. I celebrated on the 11th, right? So one of my grandchildren said, "Granddad, I heard on the radio, TV, you 82 years old." I am, yeah. So you feel different? Well, sometimes my memory. Said, name 3 things, Granddad, that being 82 you feel. Well, I can name 4. First, 82 wrinkles don't hurt. Okay. I don't know why all them people scared about getting old. Wrinkles do not hurt. The one major thing is when you lose your memory every now and then. So that means I get to hide my own Easter eggs. Said, Granddad, what's number 2? Well, I meet all them people for the first time, and they act like I've been knowing them all my life. That's the second. Meet all these people. They love me. I mean, if I didn't know better, I would think they really knew me. What's the third one? Well, I get to hide my own Easter eggs. And he really believed me then because I said that twice. So your memory's really gone. And so anyway, I was somewhere, and they was asking me about the athletes, you know, whooping their wife, you know, their girlfriend and stuff.
Right.
Are you aware, man, that 40% of cops whoop their wives and girlfriends?
I know they had some relationship issues. The divorce rate is real high. I didn't know that part about it.
No, the divorce rate is the number 1 divorce rate occupation in America. Is cops, and their second marriages is prostitutes.
I can believe that.
But can you imagine, man? You a woman and a dude, your man whoop you, and you call the police, and one of them cops that fits in that 40% that just finished whooping his old lady.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it ain't justice.
But I was telling the guy, I was speaking, I said, yeah, football's a violent game. Fractured skulls, broken nose, broken jaws, dislocated livers, all kind of operations. And I said, and that's just their wives. We ain't getting them out of there, man.
That's it.
So somewhere, a lot of stuff is beginning to come out. And I believe eventually the head, the guy that's covering up for the billionaire boys with the football, eventually he will step down.
Yeah, cause he said the boxing. I mean, one thing about Paul Tagliabue, he didn't make no type of, he didn't look at himself as being some type of savior of football. He knew what he was. He knew what he was dealing with.
Yeah,
commissioner before.
He will step down. You know who will get it, don't you?
Condoleezza Rice.
Condoleezza Rice, and then
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, well, she will make. Well, Condoleezza Rice is an interesting person. She was in Bush's cabinet. She had more PhDs than everybody in his cabinet put together, but they called her Condi, and it didn't seem to bother her. Condi. They called her. They didn't call Madeleine Albright. Maddie,
right? Yeah.
Henry Kissinger. They called him Doctor, and I just think she needs
Dr.
to know.
Doom.
Yeah, she needs to know they got a soda pop out here, blacker than her, called Dr. Pepper. And when you go order one, you better order by its full title. I want a Dr. Pepper. You go in there talking about you want a pepper, they give you a chili pepper. But she'll get it, and then she will go back and search when the governor of New Jersey, Christie.
Yeah, Christie.
Go back when he held a press conference. This was after the $2 billion casino the Chinese bought, closed. Donald Trump closed the same day one of his. And just on and on, the people that's been laid off. So Christie said the only way we can save gambling casinos is online betting, right? And the guy who runs the football thing for the rich boys keep blocking it. So when he steps down, Condi will come in and there it is. But you have to punch up what he said about how none of the casinos will be able to sell.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I got some people on the line. They want to talk to you. They've been waiting.
Please.
And I will get hit to the line.
Yep.
And please, a comment or question, because we're about to cut down on time. So I just want to make sure I get these people in.
Okay.
And we'll go to the first caller. Welcome to We All Be.
Namaste, my brothers.
God bless you. Peace and love.
God bless.
And the family.
Baba, I've been catching the bombs you've been dropping.
Yes.
I love you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you.
And I love you, brother, for creating this space. I'm a first-time caller. You crossed my path a long time ago, and only now can I hear you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Carry on. Carry on.
Thank you.
Carry
on.
Thank
you.
Okay.
Keep on keeping on.
Always.
Thank you, sir, for that. We appreciate that. We'll go to the next caller. Call y'all on the air. Welcome to We All Be. Yes, Baba Gregory.
How you doing, brother Ron?
How you doing, man? Who's this?
How you doing? Great.
God bless you, my brother. Big Gregory. Bless you.
Facebook. Yes.
Oh, okay. How you doing, man? Good to hear from you. Okay.
Hey, Big Gregory, for this outcome in your hometown, St. Louis, what do you think is going to be the outcome once people feel that they're not getting their way after if this man ever gets indictment? That's my one question.
It'd be a trick. You need to pull up Kissinger's papers, which the judge sealed for 50 years, like he was the president. The folks went into court, got him released, and you can pull it up. Pull up Henry Kissinger's solution to overpopulation and everything you see now. Everything you see now. Did you see when the nurses met with the president and he hugged him and kissed him? I'm asking you, brother, did you see that?
No, I didn't see that, no, sir.
Well, they can drop it on him, and all the press will be ready to say it was the nurse that he kissed. How can the most powerful man in the world, be tricked to go to Colombia when people all over the world know that is the drug murder capital of the world? Out of all the places to go, why would he go there? All that's a trick, man. All that's a game. You can get into heaven easily. You can get in the White House. I mean, here's some guy jump over the fence, and they got snipers. They got dogs. None of them got released. And then when he get to the door is open. And then the alarm. They say, "Oh, the people turned the alarm off because it's too loud."
Right.
Are you crazy? And then we find out the Thursday, the night before, he jumped the fence. Somebody had pictures of him outside the White House talking to a Secret Service agent. So when they finally asked the Secret, they said, "Well, I didn't have no reason to arrest him. He hadn't done nothing." Oh, 3 months before, y'all got the records. He was arrested in Virginia. Had about 38 rifles in the car, 2,000 different bullets and a sniper rifle and a picture of the White House layout. Come on, y'all.
I mean, but they could kill a black woman coming from Connecticut on the president and the first lady's wedding anniversary a year earlier.
How long ago you talking about?
Marion Carey. They killed her on October 5th of 2013. You know, the woman
with the baby.
Yeah, with the baby. Supposedly, yeah.
I saw the autopsy. She had 7 bullets in her, 15 in the head.
I mean, she had no gun. I'm just saying, like, you know, but with this guy, you said 3 months earlier they caught him with a whole cache of weaponry.
You keep overrunning. You keep over. Now you sound like NBC now. Even though you're saying it, you don't even dignify yourself even asking that question. My mother would, but she wouldn't believe it. But I'm saying, you know it. Your audience know it. They so sophisticated out there, huh?
Yes, sir.
And so they.
Well, my thing is this: we should never trust these people to begin with. You know, as black people, we should never be trustworthy. They should never be trusted. I mean, you look at the history; they should never be trusted.
Let me say this, and I'll get to the brother about what would happen. You know, a whole lot of black folks call it a rebellion ever since the 60s. I've always called them riots. A rebellion is not something you plan to do and it had to be triggered by a cop. Huh? Yes, sir. If the cop hadn't shot nobody, nothing would have happened. Huh? So what, y'all crazy? You undignified rebellions. People have been rebelling the history of the planet for evil folks. Okay? Yes, and so he gets shot and they play it up. You see, what's got my attention, here's a insignificant black guy that probably people in that town had never heard of him. And he controls the press for 3 months. And the brother that the New York cops put a chokehold on, huh? Right, Eric Gardner, yeah. Put a choke. He's in and out the papers in 2 weeks. And New York is the second news place in the world, second only to London. And so I'm saying, hey, something ain't right about this, huh? And then we go back to Rodney King. And you have to do this, man. Pull up the picture of the shooting of Rodney King, 3 o'clock in the morning, and that place is lighted like a Hollywood film. Right. And 2 other brothers in the car with him, some way they died mysteriously. Right. And when I had my man check it out, he said, man, you better get down here because the records show that Rodney King had been sentenced to 8 years in jail, and nobody's asking why he out on the street 2 weeks later. Then when the riot starts, and it's a riot, where have you lived all your life, man? All my life, Memphis. Huh? Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, so you know Southern white football, right? Yes, sir. When they play some rival games, the white downtown businessmen lock up and board up and get out of town. That's right. Because there's going to be a riot in town. Well, if white folks is rioting because of a football game, why are you upset? Or do you have carte blanche to do certain things that nobody else has to do? And so consequently, when they found the cop not guilty, Rodney King, the riot hit. They arrested, 18,213 people. To this day, they cannot account for 10,000 of those people that was arrested. Wow. And all the folks around the world that's hip, we know that was organ stealing. Just like Katrina after what happened in the aftermath. Yeah, well, the worst one was, what was it, 2 months ago? Those 80,000 young people came here from South America. Right. With no visas, but do you realize the Russians cannot slip across our southern border? Well, here's some little punky children, the whole of them can't read or write, come through.
Hmm.
They mother, look, no mother would take her children to the border and say, now you got a lot of desert, you got some coyotes, you got snakes out there. It's going to be hot, so y'all go through now and just think of mommy and pray. No mother would do that. So what make you think the folk from South America would do that, huh? You ain't guaranteed no job. You ain't even guaranteed you're going to get there. Huh? But they all made it over. That's organ stealing, doctor.
Mm.
The number one money maker. Organ transplants make more money than prostitution, than drugs. Huh?
All right.
Did you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
There's nothing. Put them all together. And trafficking little young girls and boys. Organ steal. Huh? And the black organs sell the most. The men's organs sell the most. When China, before this organ thing, they used to put you before the firing squad if you were sentenced to die. Now, you get sentenced to die in China, they shoot you in your head and harvest everything down below your neck.
She's like a pig over in China, huh? From the rooter to the tutor. She's like a pork, like a pig over there, honey. They use everything.
Yeah. And so consequently, and then what most folks don't know, anytime you get an organ that's been dead more than one day, you lose 20 years off the effect of that. So all these people stand up, lining up, waiting on organ donors and all that. You think the vice president waited 2 years?
He don't even have a heart. He's still alive. They let you know.
and so to the brother, let's say, where will it go? It'll be a trick. It'll hit. And a lot of those folks in that crowd was provocateurs. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, go back out and check Kent State.
Right.
When them white children was gunned down like they was.
We got a couple more calls we'll get to. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And they found out that the youngster that was shooting at the National Guard, when the young Carlson got to chasing, he ran right to the National Guard and they opened up the line. Well, because all them white folks ain't going to chump by like many of us. They went to court. They settled them cases out of court for millions of dollars, and they had to admit that the guy that did the shooting was National Guard. Well, that was Kent State. Kent State. That's the same thing in Ferguson.
Oh wow!
All that craziness was provocateurs. You know, government agents had bandanas on. You was there. You saw them, bandanas on.
Yeah, people thought it was gangbangers and so like
They said they were gangbangers, but did you see when they said they went in there and broke into that
the church?
No, broke into the the liquor store.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was coming out with 1 pint. Now who gonna loot a store? They didn't even get no chips, man. They didn't even get no chips. They didn't get nothing for their sweet tooth, man. You know, usually the real rides, you see them, they still promote it, but you see them coming there with cases of whiskey.
Yeah, that's right. It's like a Super Bowl salad. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So give me another person that's on.
Okay, we got
and thank you, brother. Thank you, the brother that called in on this.
Oh yeah, bro. Every good people. You got area code 347. You on the air? 347-928. Yeah.
Talk about nano silver and Ebola.
By that you mean what?
They're saying that a cure for Ebola is nano silver.
Oh, yeah, nano silver cure. Because a lot of stuff. But what I would do if I was you, I would call the patent office and just ask them for the patent. I put that stuff in the garage. Do you have the number, Ron? Do you have the patent number?
But it's right on.
I can look it up.
Yeah, well, look it up and give it to them on your show. Just call and give them the patent number, and they'll tell you about the person in San Diego. And there might be nano silver in it, but I know it was a cure, and they got a patent for it, so they're not going to give you a patent for a new rubber tire you made.
Now, is a nano silver, that's like colloidal silver too, or is it different?
It's in the same family, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you, brother.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, brother.
His name is Jonathan Towner.
I didn't hear you.
No, I said they say on the patent, the information on the internet says it's the inventor is Jonathan Towner and others.
Do they tell you he's from South Carolina? I mean, from California or San Diego?
No, I didn't get that far in it.
Okay, you get the patent number?
You know, yes, it's right there. Yeah.
I mean, are you looking at it?
Yes. I think it's WO, if I'm reading it right, WO201004. It's human Ebola virus species and compositions and methods, and, you know, it's kind of technical for me.
Yeah.
But, but it's right there on the internet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you,
and then
brother.
also look up the Kissinger's, and you see it. This is clear. Kissinger's plan to do away with population explosion, and the code name they use is useless eaters. So when you hear that, you think you're talking about poor folks. Useless eaters take cops, college professors, everybody but that top. When they get through, they say there's 500 million out of the billions of people. There'd be 500 million left, but they forget sometimes. They hadn't planned for shows like this and that social radio to happen. And Darren, you hit the Darren Muhammad out of Baltimore?
Yeah, I know Darren Muhammad. I know Brother Muhammad. I talked to him a couple times on the phone.
Yeah, no, you need to call and talk to him every other day because he has all the information. He gets it so fast, But okay, so that was okay. Who you got? One more person?
Yeah, I got two more people. Right? It's another 347 call. I guess from Brooklyn. How you doing today? Welcome, We All Be.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Fine, how are you?
I'm good. What's your name?
I just to say, Master Dick, keep on keeping on, brother, and God bless you. And I'll see you this coming Friday. To God be the glory.
All right, my brother. Thank you.
All right,
thank
good.
you.
Yeah, you got some people out here, and I guess okay, it's lighting up. Let me try to get. Okay, call 215. You on the air?
Hetapoo, Honorable Host and Honorable Elder Barbara King, Dr. Richard Califax, Dick Gregory.
Ain't that kind?
I am Angel Lady Love and Del Philly, Lady Oracle, Truth Oracle BBIM, and I'm in the Philadelphia. I did my homework, as I told you once before, about the lead poisoning that the police and firemen and construction workers are getting, because it's in all fire hydrants across the nation has lead coming out in the water. But I want to big up my sister, Elvira, because we are both members of the Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance. And if you think that you've traveled our nation, this young lady has suffered very much. We are victims of what you had mentioned. I don't like to say mind control, but it is a brainwashing type of harassment. They use electronic harassment. We're on the web. I hope I'm giving the right web page. Freedom, Freedom, FCHS.com. Freedom from Covert Harassment Surveillance. And the key here is we need your help, especially because I'm going to send to Brother Theodore again. Hopefully he received the Angel Lady Love Papers documents 1, 2, 3, and 4 by now. Right now, they are shutting off lots of senior citizens' electricity when they can't put these smart meters, which are exploding all over the nation. I don't have internet nor computer, but people have been kind to send me some documents that I'm pulling together. Have about 27, 28 pages I'd like to fax to you. I don't have internet nor email.
Let me tell you. I have the #1 research team in the world. I get tens of thousands of stuff every day, okay? I'm the one released the picture with Ron Brown with the bullet in the back of his head, okay? I'm the one that released the fact that Kennedy's brain was missing when he got back here. I'm the one who released the information that they about 9 years ago they dug up Kennedy's grave and took him out of that coffin and threw that coffin in the ocean. Okay, so I get this every day, and I get trick stuff.
Well, you taught me.
Yeah, and so I'm saying
you taught me right there at Irvine Auditorium.
Yeah, but hear me now. I'm saying that what they used to use, they don't use now. Now, let me tell you, you calling from Pennsylvania?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Philadelphia.
I didn't ask that there. I asked what state you calling from, right?
Oh, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, yes.
All right, that's the state where the state trooper was killed, right?
Right.
Oh, several of them. But I say that those
wait. Are you talking to me, and do I get to talk? There's people out there listening that don't know.
Sir.
All I'm saying that when they can kill a state trooper and wound another one, and they can't find this boy, and they know he's out in a park with all them satellites they got up there. Come on, dear. Huh? Come on.
Yes, I'm right with you.
And so
my concern is I'm going into my 11th year with no heat and hot water, sir, and I am a senior citizen now. I'm not all the way up there yet, but I'm still a senior citizen. My sister Elvira is a senior citizen, and we're both suffering. And she's been made homeless, and myself, they're trying to turn off my electricity because I don't want these smart meters. StopSmartMeters.org, and they have lied. These utility companies have come to the door unannounced as they've done these other 4 senior citizens. I feel confident that they murdered those senior citizens, a 98-year-old woman, a 92-year-old woman. They came to her door acting like they were going to help her. They, too, had no heat and hot water, and a 70-year-old couple who had 3 exits out of their home, but the fire commissioner said that they were in their bathtub, husband and wife, and did not run to the second-floor bedroom, which was right from the bathroom, and stand on the roof. I need your help, sir.
Listen, you need my help? My help?
Yes, sir.
Like I'm just sitting around waiting on you to call me to say you need, baby.
I'm saying to the fact that I know what you're the one that stimulated me to investigate this lead poisoning, MayoClinic.org, lead poisoning for children, lead poisoning for adults. These police have lead poisoning. Anyone shooting guns get lead poisoning. You said they wear it on their body, but I'm saying also they reported at the top of this year all fire hydrants. The water that comes out of it has lead in it. And these people, when you look at the problems of lead poisoning, especially with adults. You mentioned how these police have had problems with their family.
All right, dear.
Shooting
Thank
their
you.
wives.
Wait, no. Here's on when you talk about the folks, don't mix them in with cops. Okay? Cops is at the top of the line. The Egyptians invented the police. It was called conscience on patrol. The color of conscience in universal order is blue. That's why they was called men in blue. Okay? You never carried guns. The cowboys in the old days, they were called gunslingers because their guns sling down away from their body. And if the gun was an 8-shooter or a 7-shooter, they couldn't carry no more bullets. That's why they practiced so they could be dead-eye. Because once you put it on your body, and so consequently, you got cops that wear lead. Look, if you had a child and had wallpaper in the kitchen, and a lot of the wallpaper has lead in it, okay? And if they was in the house with the kitchen, they would end up with lead. But what do you think about cops that wear them lead bullets around their belly 8 to 15 hours a day?
Right.
There is nobody that has it. And consequently, more cops in America die from suicide than killed in the line of duty. Okay?
That's right.
You got
because
wait, ho. I'm saying you just threw it out there. How many firefighters you know commit suicide? I'm trying to tell you now. Okay?
Sir, we do have some in Philadelphia that have...
Ho. I'm fixing to hang up now. Okay? I'm fixing to hang up now. You talk to me like I don't know what's going on out here, and you do, huh? All right? There's a whole lot of people out here that know what's going on out here, and if you think you can just pick up a phone and call somebody and they will call you back, you don't understand how this works, dear. And all I'm trying to do is say to the people out there that's listening that you don't put the cop. The number one divorce occupation is cops, and their second wives is prostitute. That's the lead, okay? And if you go back and look up, and you should be able to pull it, in early 50s, the CIA went to a little village outside of Paris, and they took a certain form of LSD and put in the dough in this little bakery that the little village went to. And it messed their mind up so bad they thought they was airplanes and they was jumping off of mountains and thought they could fly. They've been doing this for so long, miss, okay? And they change. They keep changing as the technology come out. So this has been here for a long time, and it's mind control, but they got it now where and they keep moving it to a science and keep moving it to a science. And they got hypnotists, they can do that. They got stuff, they can go to a ball game, 100,000 people and drop it from the air, and everybody will turn into cannibals, okay? It's more than just shutting your electric off and messing with old folks. They got it down to a science. That's all I'm saying. And you can find so much stuff on it now. And who else have you contacted for help?
You want to answer that? I'm going to put it back in.
No.
If you can, hello?
I said, who else have you contacted for help?
Am I off the line?
No, you're on the line. He asked you a question. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, I thought, okay. Yeah, the key here is, do you hear that humming in on my phone? My telephone, I pay my telephone. They shut off my phone when the FFCHS had come to Philadelphia in June. They shut my phone off for that whole weekend. Now, this is the first I'm telling anybody that I'm a member of such, but they knew that I was a member. Now they put this humming on my phone.
Yeah, they do.
And the bottom line here, and I pay nearly $100. I only have one phone. I don't have internet nor computer or anything on it. I'm paying almost $100 a month for my phone.
Well, this show you're talking on now, because it's so hip and the hip on it, I would say above 25% of the folks that's listening to you now know 90% of cases that's more drastic than yours. Okay? When it happens to you,
for my sister too.
No, I know, dear. I'm not saying that. You know. Okay, well, I'll thank you much.
May I send him Brother Theodore?
Okay, I don't know, because but I got one more person, I don't know what guy, on the call, and that'll be the last question. Area code 727. Y'all there?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, welcome. How you doing?
God bless you, brother or sister, whoever it is.
Hey. Yeah, this is Doris, man. I appreciate it. And Brother Hurd.
Hey, brother Howard and Doris Roberts. How you doing, man?
Yeah.
You working hard.
Brother Gregory back on, man. I appreciate your information you give out, Dick Gregory.
Thank you, brother.
All right, well, I'm calling about, I want to know, a couple things. And one of them, I want to know, how do you feel about the NSA collaborating with all these social networks such as like Google and Facebook and all that? And how do you feel about either the facial recognition thing they got going on? And I hear you was talking about the provocatives, the agent provocatives.
Yes.
Do you feel that a lot of them was out there in Ferguson?
Sure. Well, I saw them.
Ones out there causing stuff? Okay.
Sure. And the police knew who they were. Look, the state police knew who they were.
And my final question: how do you?
Wait, hold it. Before that, before. Sure. Listen, at the press conference they had, them provocateurs made the governor shut up. Okay. Okay. Now, what was your next question? You say?
You got the NSA
collaborating. Yeah, how do you feel about the NSA collaborating with the social networks? Like
they've been doing that. They've been doing that. Let me tell you something. I knew a brother, white dude, friend of mine, that he knew a woman and her husband taught at Stanford University English, and they ended up with Cisco. Why? Because the CIA and they gave it to them so we wouldn't suspect nothing. A lot of those folks that come up with all this CIA stuff, they juice them down and Harvard, and then they kick them out. They got them out. They gave them about $400 million and got them out. But no, most of that stuff that they invent, like the woman that did Harry Potter. Here she's on welfare, living in a shelter, and she's cool enough to create something that make her almost $3 billion. And the most of us that knew what was going down, but the Japanese didn't find out till them children started dying in the movie. Okay? Because the rhythm that you put in your head, and you need to look it up. And what happened is that they don't play none. They don't let none of that stuff in there no more. And how many people in America know over 3,000 people a month die from talking on them cell phones while you charging it? Okay? And the biggest case they blew was the one with the Chinese woman earlier this year. And a lot of folks with them cell phones don't know when you jogging down the street and pack one of them big old electric computers, you can get electrocuted for that. I know that, but the government don't know that. Give me a break, huh?
Hey, you just told me something just then. I always go jogging and run up with my phone.
Yeah, well. Okay. Well, thank you much. I'm sorry.
I was asking, how do you think we could break that mind control thing? Because I know I was hearing about MK Ultra and all things like that. How do you think people could break that?
I don't know, but I'm not an engineer, and one of the things we do, we get out of our phase, and because my house catch on fire, I don't qualify to go in there and try to get my family. There's people that's been trained for that, okay? And the most I would do when people been calling me for 40 years, and I just say, well, just fast, and see if it can throw out. Just fast. I don't know. There's people out here, but how you know they're not government agents, huh?
That's a good point. Well, Baba Gregory was always an honor to have you on, and I appreciate you so much. And it's a great to go to. We love you madly, and also keep producing and pushing. And the best is still yet to come for you, even at 82 years young. The best is still yet to come. So hold on.
Thank you. Love you. All
love you too. Yes,
keep
sir.
Listening to the brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir.